Being a car guy is like being part of an exclusive club that nobody cares to join. You just so happen to one day fall in love with those big, hulky pieces of alloys, or perhaps you've inhaled so much exhaust smoke that you practically can't think straight. Whatever the case may be, as it turns out, being a car guy takes some serious dedication. You spend hours researching about cars, your wallet absolutely hates you, and your girlfriend can't seem to understand some of your obscene behaviors. I know, I'm here with you. It's definitely not easy. However, having mentioned the above points, it has come to my attention that some car guys have it easier than others. Namely, I'm referring to the Americans. Now, before I continue any further, I just wanted to address that this video is not all-encompassing. This video is about the many comments I've seen littered across the internet where car guys across the world described their everyday struggles. That's not to say that being a car guy in the United States of America is always easier. I'm sure in some states it can be a pain in the ass to be a car guy because of various restrictions, resources, or possibly other regulations. Anyhow, let's get started with our first comparison. First up, we have the United States of America versus the United Kingdom. Gas prices. Remember when gas prices were averaging damn near $4 a gallon for regular gas across the nation a few years back? And if you lived in California, it was apparently $6+. Can I get someone to confirm this? We were complaining for literally months, possibly a couple years, but citizens of the UK simply scoffed at our quote, low gas prices. Even now, taking a quick Google search, you can see that the UK generally pays more for their petrol, double ours, and then some in this case. So if you're a car guy in the UK, especially for those of you that somehow managed to get your hands on a Mustang GT, bless your hearts. Next up, USA versus Canada. Car insurance. My Camaro's insurance last year costed me over $1,700 a year for full coverage. Personally, I thought this was reasonable for a kid under 25 years old with a 6.2 liter V8. However, I can't imagine paying for my Camaro's insurance if I had resided in parts of Canada, specifically Ontario. I read comments where folks were paying nearly $2,000 just for their 3.6 liter V6 Camaro, and they'd be older than 25 years old with zero accidents. Just to put it in perspective, my parents own 3 cars and have insured all of them with full coverage for under $1,800 a year while they resided in Indiana. Imagine owning 3 cars, let alone 2 cars, as an adult in Ontario, Canada. Yikes. USA versus France. Driving age. For those of you who were fortunate to start learning how to drive at the ripe old age of 15.5 years old in the US with a learner's permit, you might have thought to yourself, well, it's about damn time. By the time some of you were 16 years old, you got your fully fledged driver's license. As young car enthusiasts, getting behind the wheel of a car as soon as possible may have seemed like an eternity for you. Well, imagine if you had to wait until you were 18 years old. Such is the case for folks residing in France, with the minimum driving age generally around the age of 18 years old. Now, I know this can vary from region to region or state to state, but the fact that teens have to wait another 2 years before they can even get behind the wheel of a car is daunting. Imagine you and your friends going through all of high school where your parents had to drop you off to every school event like prom, a night out at the movies, or at your girlfriend's house. Not cool, mom. USA versus the Nordic countries. Cubic capacity or centimeter limitations. There's no replacement for displacement. I bet y'all have heard this one a bunch of times, right? Those annoying, beer-chugging, shotgun-bearing Americans with their humongous V8s, they suck, am I right, fellas? On a serious note, in America, we don't really even think about how big our engines are. Want a 2.4 liter inline 4? Go buy one. Want a 3.6 liter V6? Go buy one. Want a 6.2 liter V8? Go buy one. Want a 8.4 liter V10? Go buy one. Hell, some of y'all probably think a 2 liter inline 4 is small. However, believe it or not, the Nordic countries of Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland have extremely strict regulations on how large new car engines can be. I'm talking under 2 liters generally speaking. If you want a new car with a bigger engine, you're going to have to get ready to fork up a crap ton of money in the form of carbon taxes, import taxes, and probably a bunch of other taxes that I'm unaware of. If any of you guys hail from the Nordic countries, please feel free to either confirm this or express your thoughts. USA versus Asia. Car prices. Holy smokes guys, the Civic Type R costs like $40,000? How dare Honda price a Civic that high? Oh my gosh. Who would even buy a Toyota 86 for $26,000? That's such a ripoff. I can buy an EcoBoost Mustang for the same price, but have over 100 more horses. Car pricing is a very sensitive topic here in the US. We're always worried about getting the best bang for our buck, whether it's new or used cars. Real quick though, think about your dream car. How much does it cost in the US? 25, 50, 100K, $500,000 plus? Now triple that number. Wait, no, scratch that. Quadruple that number. In some Asian countries like Singapore and Malaysia, a brand new Toyota Corolla would cost as much as $80,000 US due to very strict taxes in an attempt to reduce traffic and congestion on their streets or in their streets. Nearly all Asian countries even employ a lottery-like system for people who are allowed to own and drive a car for X amount of years. So in short, some years you won't be legally allowed to own, let alone drive, your car. Now I know there are a lot of variables when talking about pricing, but in the US you can easily argue we have a higher standard of living. We all want high-paying jobs to buy a home and live the American dream. Still, imagine trying to buy a car in any of those Asian countries and it'll boggle your mind. I was reading forums and Quora and all over, those folks take out essentially the equivalent of a mortgage just to buy a car. So not only are they generally paid less when compared to their American counterparts for nearly every sector or line of work, they also have to take out a mortgage just to own a car. Well, that wraps up this short list video. I know I left out plenty of other reasons why American car guys should count our blessings. So my fellow Americans, what makes your life difficult when it comes to being a car guy, if there's any at all? Leave your thoughts down below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.